And Senator Sessions' views on drug policy are maybe even more out of the mainstream. He has been one of the most outspoken advocates against the legalization of marijuana, both recreational and medicinal. In an April 2016 hearing, he suggested that the federal government must send the message that, quote, good people don't smoke marijuana. This is 2016. This isn't 1975. This is 2016. Our Attorney General nominee says, good people don't smoke marijuana. Tell that to the cancer victim. Tell that to my good friend John Radcliffe, who has stage 4 liver and colon cancer. But Senator Sessions supports aggressive federal intervention in states that have legalized medical or recreational marijuana. He criticized the federal government's guidance on federal marijuana regulation, which directed the Justice Department to respect the decisions of states to determine their own criminal laws. Because of this guidance, federal prosecutors stopped targeting patients who rely on medical marijuana products for relief. They stopped targeting local dispensaries that are operating squarely within state law. And instead, they went after criminal drug traffickers and violent drug crimes. That seems like a smart prioritization of resources within the Justice Department, not going after people who want to utilize marijuana to alleviate pain, but rather going after violent drug crimes. That seems smart, but Senator Sessions opposed that. The respect for federalism reflected in the Justice Department's guidance should be right in line with conservative values. Under the guidance, as long as states are preventing the distribution of marijuana to minors, if they're preventing the growing of marijuana on federal lands, and if they're stopping state-authorized marijuana activities being used as fronts for other illegal activities, then the Justice Department doesn't interfere. I'd like to quote from Senator Sessions' arguments against this policy. He said, I think one of Obama's great failures, it's obvious to me, is his lax treatment in comments on marijuana. It reverses 20 years almost of hostility to drugs that began really when Nancy Reagan started Just Say No. But here's the thing. There is a bipartisan consensus now. The drug war is a failure. The drug war did not work. The drug war did not decrease the percentage of people utilizing illegal drugs. Every time the government succeeded in shutting down a drug trafficking ring, another would pop up. And harsh penalties didn't slow addiction rates. They just incarcerated mostly young men. They didn't slow the flow of drugs. Instead, they crowded our prisons, burdened taxpayers, and increased drug-related violence in other countries. So now is the time to shift our strategy and focus on helping people who struggle with addiction. We also need to respect the decision in many cities and states to decriminalize drug possession. It's up to them to decide how to provide relief to residents who could benefit from using medical marijuana.